Historically, all all ruling classes have achieved by the status and the wealth by the controlling society. Through the sum from the puritanical ethics, the harder the understanding works and the more major their pleasures reach of the ruling systems will be the whether the their whether the artificial or corporative industries beyond. Such power is a bill upon the forfeit pleasure of the workness. Experientially, however, as we seen, pleasure is the merely high energies. The emerging of the masses have been incorporated over the centuries to produce the overclaim overclasses, the very wealth of the pleasure denied the underclasses. In the truth, the pleasure of life, energy, mankind, the basic capacity, capital, robbing man of his man of this has written in the wild division between the have and multiple have nots. What working classes envy in the liver of the upper classes is the appropriately their pleasures from the joys of the executing power of the its varied from the beautiful topics of the self induction, the realization that the dialogues of on is the denied are the being enjoyed by the others budget the outgauge of the revolution or subliminal are the representative of the restating law against the pleasure of one's peers. The moral code these functionals are realize that the exploration of their life energy of message through the calculated destroyed distortion of the value, the illusion of profit in the moral helios of the lives is the more of heavenly reward will be. This is destroyed the coupling of pleasures with the suffering has produced the morally prevents socially manu- manipulate in the which pain become associated with the pleasure. In these atoms is the insane alternation of the suffering and the Europea that typifies the addiction become a last previously defin- definable by in the deadly antisocial games of winning and losing the Forabian heights. From the same life view, society's current method of the taking the problem by playing the other half of the game arise, denying the nature of the substance abuse by the doing so were created the marketplace is that is the so highly legislative and the easily into the entire criminal industries, ferocious and the result of corrupting life no manipulate level the arrest of the duration kingpin. For the instance has no effect at all. The problem before his even jail he will have been replaced by a new top dog. For example, when South American drug lord Polbo Escobar died, he was the instantly supplanted by the three new kingpins. So the Hydra now had a three-head instance of one. Society's drug problem required a social approach celebrating at the 350 and our current anti-drug program celebrate at only 150. Therefore, it's ineffective and the memory money spent on its wasted. Industrial and the specific research. The, diagnostic method we have Describe quickly tracks faithfully areas from the research and the development in the science and industry. Historical example of the illusion, how how the use of the method could save years, effort and the millions of the dollars. Materials research. Thomas Edison tested more than 116 substances before he arrived at the tungsten as the most suitable element to be used for his historic development of the incandescent lightbulbs. And the easier way to detect the best material would be to divide the possible alternative into the two groups and ask the material is the group. After this determination, the group is again subdivided by the and so on by this method. An answer can be derived in the matter of minutes rather than years. Product development. Discard ago, RJR Navios held holding the corporation wasted approximately 350 millions of research and the products of smokeless cigarettes on the mistaken assumption that smoking is primarily and the oral habit in the habit. In fact, it is since been discovered that when people go blind, they tend to quit smoking has multiple ways of the which gratification is only one. A neological test of the market visibility of any potential product can be arrived at the clear conclusions regarding the public acceptance and the fearability of the marketing in the less than a minute. Product acceptability of the profile profitability can be ascertained by the very accurately if the questions are faced with the precaution and the all categories are investigated including the timing markets and advertising and the subpopulation of the address scientific inquiries. The science provides a field of a neological exploration that effort group of the inquiry and excitement, epilepsy, and the polar games. It is also facing for a group of compare with what they have discovered with the funding and of the other groups using a same method. In a more generation application, avenue for a faithful research can be identified quickly and it will be discovered that often the most valuable insight to be obtained have to do with the range and dimension of the research. Since this is the method bypass the limitation of the context. One of the its most valuable uses is the check on the process itself, whether or not it's a correct directional to take. We may thus confirm the basic prelims from which inquiry originate the have validity. For the instance, our current research for a life elsewhere in the universe take the from the broadcasting of mechanism symbols PI into the space. Implying the high-res is the assumption of that no civilization could be developed a ratio restriction unless it could be understood and the metronomical concept, but it is a there is the life of elsewhere is even demonstration of the detected by the human since at all let alone compassed distinct life units that solve problems by the use of intellects and the employment employs symbols of the commerce communicate across the space and all time. Medical science, neurological diagnostics and the science in its own right are governed by the international colleges of the applied neurology. Each organ body has been is the corresponding decorated muscles whose weakness signals are the pathology in the corresponding organs. Neurology is the already widely used to confirm both diagnostic and the efficiency of the problems therapy. The right does of the right medicine can also be determined by the patient's neurological response. Similarly, allergies can be detected and the needs of the natural supplements may be determined. Research in the theology, epistemology, and the philosophy. Although the validity of the application may be vary with the observed capacity of the awareness, the technique of using neology and the assumption truth itself celebrate at the level of 600. This means that the method of described has the degree of relativity that's beyond the duration of the relevant ordinary consciousness as we know about its daily life. The level of the truth of this book is a whole approximately at 810. To maintain that level throughout, the truth of the every chapter, page, paragraphs, and sentences have been examined by the use of the method described, and the all statements and conclusions have been similarly verified. The conception surrounding the nature of the truth can be maintained if we celebrate the level of truth of our questions as well as our answers. Paradox and ambiguities are arising from the confusing level of consciousness, and the answer is the truth. True only the its own level of consciousness. Thus, we may kind that answer is correct, but stimulation is invalid, like a musical note that correctly played but the wrong place in the score. All observations are reflection of the specific level of the consciousness and the valid of only their own level. Therefore, every means of approaching subject has its own built-in limitations. A statement may be true at a high level of understanding but be incomprehensible the average mind. Its value may be therefore be corrupted when the statement is destroyed by the limitation of the line listeners. This has been the the fate of religions throughout the ages when the Procans organization from the higher level of awareness were later manipulated as the follower vested with authority. Such as distortion can be seen in the fundamentalist sect of any religion. The fundamentalist, the infraction of the religion techniques state negatively and the remove from the negative negative only truth. The lowest description of the deadly are the good who is jealous, vengeful, and the angry. A god death fair removed from the god mercy and love. The god religions negatively respect glorification glorification of the negative and the provide a followers disavowal of the responsibility throughout the justification of the human curiously and the mayhem in the general pain the suffering increases the as one nearest a bottom level of consciousness. The truth of each level of consciousness itself, verifying that each level has its negative range of the prescription which have confirmed what the already believed to be true. Thus, everyone feels justified in the viewpoint that underlying his action and benefits. That's the inherent danger of the rightlessness. Anyone can be ruthless from the killer who has justified his range. Inescapably by the dangerous and the political extremes of the Puritans by the restoring context is it is possible to realize that the justification of almost human behavior all wars are started by their prescriptors. The human dialogue is awesome in its anonymity and the subtle reflecting the Clemoscopic interaction of the powerful attractor energy field consistently man's consciousness. The brilliance of the world greater philosophy through the 25th century has been struggling in its scope and complexly. Yet to overall there are few areas of agreement with the respect to the nature of growth. Without an objective yardstick, every individual who has ever lived has had to sift through the changing reflection of life, discount on truth. This seems a never-ending struggle to which man commanded with the virtual his own mental designs. This design predicted that any statement will be true only within a given context, despite the fact that the definition and derivative of the context are the invisible and the understand it's through the every individual is the exploring life with a compass that has unique settings. That any meaningful dialogue at all is a possible basecamp man's inappropriate composition of his own condition and the attends that given cognition of the whole is an all-inclusive overarching actors feel that felicitated by the manifestation of the possible into the actual concordance emerged from the organized pattern hidden behind the appearance. Thus, the evolution of the mankind process of the despite apparently apparent singles and the individual are at any given moment. Choice is the only limited prescription. Everything is the part of the large whole. Everyone is involved in the evolution of the all-inclusive attractor field of consciousness itself. It's the evolution of intent to the overall field consciousness which is guaranteed that the evolution of the mankind and with it the all life. The nobility of the man it is his contracts struggle with the unasked experience in the task wall world that is hours of mirrors his soul supporting the faith of the process of the life itself. This is all about it. We will going to start our new chapter is the everyday critical point analysis. That critical points, how do we analyze the critical points? We will see about this in these chapters. The potential applications of the research we are discussing thus far of the some suggestion about the limitless lightness used for the with this is the method of applicable as the incredation of the attractor fields of energy with the human consciousness revealed itself in a interaction of the mind and body. The basic level of available energy in the any enterprise can be celebrated by anyone, anywhere, anytime. All that's required, all that's required is the peoples on the whom is familiar with the muscle testing techniques described in the study. The practical implementation of the struggling is this tool can be as the important to continuing the evolution of society as any of the major discoveries of the physical science to date. Let's spell out in the more paragraphic details what his could mean everyday life. In such means of as the celebrated power of an identified the attractor pattern is the directly related to its level of truth. It is possible to cleanly discuss the truth from the false, constructive from the destructive, and the partial and efficiency from the awokeness, awokable and the wasteful. We can identify the motive, agenda, and the goal in any project in individual themselves. Shape clothing need hide the wolf number longer. As we have seen about consciousness reacts decisively to the difference between the truth and fleshhood. You may reconfirm this by the standing you the true age. I am the 43 years old and I am having a someone press down your extend arm. You will stay strong now. Say I am 45 years old and you will instantly go weak like a computer consciousness simply our answer of 0 or 1, true or false.